All right. Ivey's got a good hand on the button.
Raise 5,400.
The 1600 is on.
You got me 2 times in a row.
2, 4, 8, 16.
54.
Yep.
This game is
I checked dark.
beyond massive.
Yeah,
Chicken in the dark.
it's officially out of the muck.
Playing 200, 400, 800, 1600 at Hustler Casino Live. Folds round 2. Phil Ivey, one of the absolute greatest poker players to ever grace the felt with his presence. He raises it up to $5,400. Over to Eric Persson. He's trying to be the greatest poker player ever. He opts to call with Jack 5 of hearts. Let's go to the flop.
And look at that. Eric defends the Jack 5.
The flop comes Jack 7, 6, 1 spade. Persson checks, as he should do with much of his range. And Phil Ivey with 2 overcards, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Maybe you can bet this one. That said, given we all know from watching a lot of hands featuring Persson that he likes to raise, you really don't want to be betting so often against players who like to raise with hands that are going to be in a pretty dicey spot if you bet and then get raised. Because right here, playing very deep stacked as these players are, they're about $500,000 deep. You can't really fold ace queen of spades if you get check raised. So for that reason, I think you should be a little bit more inclined to check it back, which Phil Ivey does. Let's head to the turn.
Check, check.
Look at this turn card.
Yeah, I mean, just in case he was behind, the all-world turn card. Okay, so according to Patrick What Up, David Benjamin grinds the 10-20 game at Commerce. Okay.
The turn is the 4 of hearts, giving Persson everything he has. Top pair, a flush draw, a straight draw, and he goes for a $7,600 bet into the $12,600 pot, which I think is fine and good. He may even be able to bet bigger here. This is a spot where if he bets and gets raised, he can easily continue with what is either the best hand or the best draw, or maybe both. And also, this is a spot where when Ivey checks back the flop, Ivey's going to have a lot of unpaired hands and also under pairs like pocket 10s, or maybe weak jacks like jack 8 suited. And I think for that reason, you may want to go even bigger given we are playing super deep stacked. That said, I like Persson's bet. I think it's going to get called by a decently wide range. And with the ace queen of spades, I think it's a close spot, which is really what you want to be doing with a lot of your bets. You want to put your opponents in spots where they have difficult, close decisions. Notice if Persson bet like 80,000 on the turn, then obviously Ivey can just easily fold. And if you bet really tiny, well then obviously Ivey can easily call, getting good odds and position. But Persson's size does make Ivey be in a kind of tough spot. Now, Ivey probably already knows by now that Persson likes to bluff. So if Persson likes to bluff, then you can't go around folding the ace high when the board is very draw heavy. So Ivey does call, and we head to the river.
Ivey calls.
Eric hits the flush.
He's going to bet a lot here. Ivey will snap fold.
29,600.
That's 29,600.
The river gives Persson the flush, and he goes for it. A big, chunky, tiny bit more than pot size bet of 29,600. I love this play. This is a spot where Ivey is going to randomly have some top pairs that kind of have to call. He may have some hands with a 10, or he may have a straight. He may randomly be sitting here with pocket 9s and decide to hero call. I think this is a spot where a big bet makes a whole lot of sense with flushes and some bluffs. And, well, Persson has exactly a flush. Nicely played hand by Persson so far. Let's see if Ivey finds the call.
Seconds.
I'll show you a card for 10,000.
Wow, wait, $10,000 is a lot to see one card. In Ivey's shoes right here, how much would you pay to see one of Persson's cards? $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, or you don't care, no amount. Let me know in the comment section below. And then what would you do if he shows the obvious card, the 5 of hearts, when you're sitting here with the ace queen of spades? Let me know down below.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Ivey's having none of that. He doesn't want to see any cards. Instead, he wants to see $110,000 slide into the pot. Woo! That is strong. I don't think it's going to work, though.
I call.
110. Keep going.
Ivey finally went for it.
Why you gotta bluff me?
Couldn't help it.
Persson snap calls. Somehow, he induced the greatest poker player of all time, Phil Ivey, to run a pretty aggressive bluff with no flush blocker. He gobbled it up and crushed Ivey's soul. That means Persson is now the new reigning king of poker. Ivey is currently number 2. I have another video lined up for you where Garrett Adelstein and Phil Ivey end up playing a giant pot. Check it out and see which one of these players will reign, well, not supreme, but second to supreme in the next video we have lined up for you. That's going to be it for today. Good luck, have fun, and when you run a big river bluff, at least try to have a blocker to a nuts. A nuts? To one of the nut hands. I was thinking ace or queen. We want one of them to be a heart, please. You really want one of them to be a heart.